Hello there and welcome back to another video. Well, for the third part of the cross-platform feature of nobita.h and hopefully the last part since I have something else planned for this project, changing the how we specify the build tools and options since this feels like a pain to use. And since compilers differ in behavior on how they take said options, well, maybe we can just add an enum for that and do the compiling separately. But anyways, in the last part, we we're getting an error about the glob part of the nobita.h since the glob type itself does not exist on the win32 API. So we're gonna be replacing that. So back in here in add args for now. And to actually make it a bit easier to read, we can just create a new block of code since, it's gonna be a pain to read now that I think about it. If I just spam if defines on the middle of a block of code. So I want to copy this one, paste it over here, but glob does not exist. So what's the alternative? Well, I've been searching around and I see this find first file. So I need two structures. First is, a handle for the result of this thing, not header. So I guess just call that F with find first file A with the string being arg, and we're gonna be putting that in a data structure. Call that D. So LP win32 find data A D. Set that to 0. Now, what is this thing's return value? If it succeeds, then it will return a handle for find next file and find close. But if it fails, then I see an invalid handle value over here. Though, is this just null? Surprisingly not. It's -1, which is the same number that we use for the process appends and wait, surprisingly. So it works somehow. Anyways, the function only fails because the file's not found. So we can do the same thing over here. But if it is fine, then we can do a find next file over here, which is, I see a handle over here. So I guess a while true for find next file A that will take in the handle F and maybe the address of the data, D. So it continues a file search, but does it already put a value on this thing if it succeeds? No. Wait, it actually does put something in there. So we can put an else on this first, and we can append a copy of this thing. Since I believe the OS owns the result of this thing. So use nobita stir loop from D, which is the file name. Let's see. Yep, it's the file name for the max path. Though I don't think that's enough, to be honest, considering it supports wide characters. But we're using the ASCII version here, so it might be fine. So duplicate, same thing here, duplicate. Oh, eh, this already is a pointer. Hold on, wait a minute. This might be bad. How do you do this? Because I think this would fail, to be honest. Hmm. Might as well check a sample. Find first file A, um, win32 example. So here's its example. Find data. Let's see. It displays an error, but hmm, I guess it's fine. Maybe. But if this is just data, it still is a pointer, which is worrying me. And in here, FFD, and where's the find first file? FFD again, and they're accessing it via dot, which is weird. Hmm. Oh well, we'll see when we compile this thing. But find next file would return false, I guess, if it does not find anything anymore. And the contents of find file data is weird. And it would return an error of no more files. After that, we can run close handle on this thing to F. Now for the add sources, well, there's a bigger thing over here. So if not defined, win32. Let's just do this inside the while loop. Then else, and if. And that's win32. Now, what we can copy from here is these. Paste that over here. But it's the result of a while loop from find next file A, with the handle being F and the address being D. And we can close the handle. Well, the thing does not exist yet, but close the handle for now. And well, that's F. And put the next arg over there. Now we can add handle F with find first file A with arg as the argument and D over here, which is, well, not nobita. Win32 file attribute data A, D, and set that to 0. Though it is still a pointer over here. Wait a minute. Oh, it's find data, not attribute. But still, we can copy the error from add args over here. And in add sources, I'll put this here. Oh, I surprisingly did not need this else statement. Can just append this. Well, not append to the custom command, but the sources, which is a duplicate of the file name. Wait, no. Stir join L with the path separator. The file name and the current executables directory ended with null. We can also run the same thing over here. Call that I and run that over by the file name. and setting its last extension to an O. And then we can append it to the objects. So, hmm, there's still something missing, but I still cannot see what's missing. So nobita cache. Maybe what's missing is me creating the directory. So run nobita their name on this thing. See file name and actually running nobita recursive, make the IR recursive on the file name. Though, does the data contain the parent directory of this thing? Well, the Clang daemon is not responding to me now, so that's a problem. But let's see for now. I guess I did not need the duplicate of this thing. But let's see for now. If I appended this, since it's already joined, the sources and the object. Hmm. Well, I guess I can separate this out into another one. Call that S. And here's O. The path separator, and that one. Then we can append S and O. Then do the make the IR recursive later on. Maybe. So that we would not need to free these later on. So just O. And this would surprisingly work on this part. Thus reducing the stuff we need to add over here, I believe. And in here, I just need to change GL to find file. C file name in here as well. The C file name, no need for that. Wait, I do need it to change it to an object file. But it does work. Well, let's see the opinion of other sanitizer over here on just the normal one. Hold up. Well, that's a problem. So a process did not exit successfully. Well, at least this part works. Now, what's the problem? Read is a directory. What do you mean? Oh, it's trying to compile it from this thing, test source, which is bad. So let's see. Here's the source and the object. Now that is a bit weird. Hmm. Oh, since this is still an address, I guess we can run stir archive for this. Oh, just a normal start char on O and the null byte. And we set this to a path separator. And same thing over here. Let's see what would happen. Okay, it seems to compile it properly. There you go. Now let's try compiling the Windows version. Well, now it's a problem. Sources size must point to a struct or union. Well, what's the problem over here? 497. It doesn't appreciate the thing being enclosed in parentheses. Well, C is an undeclared identifier. Well, this is T. And over here, it's fine. So let's try that once again. Once more. More undeclared identifiers. 507 this time. Wait, did I not do this? D is over here. Do I have to access this by a dot? Like they do on the thing? On the example? Now, the Clang daemon doesn't want to show me information about this thing. So maybe it is. Let's see. No, it's still complaining about this thing being an undeclared identifier. So it's not file data, but find data. Before I do that, find data. Now it's a normal struct. So I guess not. So that's C file and C file. Now where else did I use this thing? Wait, what about add args? Oh, it's an LP, that's why. Well, that's the problem. Well, now that's resolved. Well, if it's considered invalid, well, that's gonna be a pain if it doesn't work. But let's try compiling it for now. Okay, there's less errors. And in 491, another undeclared identifier since I copied and pasted this thing. Fprintf. Um, not enough arguments passed for format string. Okay. And what else? 497, 502. Differs in levels of indirection. Oh, this is just a warning. Since, well, it's not a function that I defined, since it's not stirjoil, but stirjoin L. So glad to see that I only made that mistake there. And see if this thing compiles. Now it's linker errors, which is concerning. Unresolved externals for the win32 path is there. Do you need to add a DLL for this thing? Oh, it's separate. So maybe I can just change this thing. And not take the easy way out. Also, this time comparison is wrong since there is a compare file time function over here. And, well, SA and SB. And it wants a pointer for that. And here's file time 1. So what we want is the first file time being later. So this should be equal to 1. Now we can do the same thing over here with stat. Just call that S. And what can we return from this thing? Well, after getting its file attributes, of course. But get file attributes can fail. So what's the error thing of this again? Well, it's already 30 minutes, but I think we're almost done. It's not showing up. So get file attributes. Well, we're using the EX1. So what's the return value of this thing? Well, the return value is 0. And automatically return false for this one, since it errored out. Though it may be that the user does not have enough permission for the thing. Though for what this thing is used for, hopefully not. Since this is a local build thing. Let's see, file attribute data, file attributes. And I hope we can run a path there or something like that. So win32 file attribute data. And after this, I'm gonna end the video. So file attributes. Print file attributes. You have to end this thing. Read only hidden directory. So we can end this with attribute directory. Wait, no, this is for the other one. File exists and there exists. Well, we can just set the opposite of this thing. And we're probably fine. Let's try compiling this thing. Uh-oh. 613. Well, 939. Oops. It should be the last write time. I messed that one up. Now what else have I messed up? Almost 35 minutes. Now it's in 953 and 970, which is this one. OA does not exist. There should be path. Now last one. Before we can test this out in the next video. Okay. Um, build.txt. Okay. Now that this thing successfully compiles, well, it's time to end the video right here. Thank you for sticking with me this far. And in the next one, we're gonna be debugging this thing because I'm sure that this is not implemented correctly yet. So may I see you on the next one.